Exactly. Now, Mikoshi's the place Soul Killer operates out of, where it stores its victims' engrams.
For getting played by her?
She knew more than they thought she knew.
Where the hell's Rogue? Sit. Stay.
A mission.
Or she'll make sure we die for good.
Bakaneko got sick.
How's it going today, everyone? This is Scoopers. We are playing CyberPunk 2077. We are finally doing the review, getting the review done and started with. Today we are playing it on the Xbox One X, and this has been a review that has taken me a while because I am very new to doing this style of editing. It took me a few weeks to get this done. I really hope everyone enjoys this. I'll address some of the lateness later in the video, but let's get into the review by letting off. Firstly, I knew Cyberpunk was a thing. I knew it was coming out. I knew it was coming out on PS4 or Xbox One. I didn't watch anything about it. I didn't see anything about it in the media or in the news. I kind of just stayed away from it because I wasn't a fan of The Witcher. It just wasn't a style I enjoyed. And I thought Cyberpunk might be the same, so I kind of stayed away from the news. I didn't know anything about the promises about wall running, wall jumping, third person. I didn't know any of that. My first take on Cyberpunk was knowing it was a board game, knowing it had books, and then when it came to CD Projekt Red side of it, I knew they were making a Cyberpunk game. I knew about it in 2012 or whatever when it was announced, but after that, I didn't hear anything, nor did I care to hear anything until 2019 when Keanu went on stage and said everyone was breathtaking. And then after that, I kind of didn't watch any more of stuff about it. It just kind of was one of those games that I didn't watch, pay attention to. I don't tend to pay attention to a lot of the games. If I may enjoy a game, even if it's a game I enjoy, say like Lego Star Wars, the complete Skywalker saga, I'm not watching any videos about that. When it releases, I'll play it. So it was one of those things where I didn't know about these promises. I didn't know what the game was going to look like. Literally, my only two things I saw about it was the E3 reveal trailer, or whatever, when the lady got shot with the gun and she had the mantis blades that we now know are mantis blades. And I had no idea about anything else. And then I knew Keanu was in it because the Wake Up Samurai. But that was my whole breath and take on the entire video. That's all I knew. So when it came to release, besides that, I am very much an enjoy the game type person. If I'm just having fun, I'm just having fun. So that's why we're doing it with the Autistic Reviews part of the channel. I do hope you guys enjoyed the little bug fiasco I put in the beginning of the video. But yeah, so right now I am level 30. Level-wise, level 50 street cred. And I'm going to talk about some of the cons right off the bat. Now, I picked it up on the 20th or so of December, and I have been playing and capturing video ever since. And I've been playing it on the Xbox One X. So I've been capturing video and playing it since the 20th. By the time this comes out, it will be the 20th, so it'll be an entire month that I've been working on this video. Now, with that, what can I say about it? It's very buggy. Even with 3 or 4 patches, it still hasn't been fixed. It's still not, it's still very buggy. Still very buggy. Some of those I captured the day of. One of them I captured last week, and one of them I captured as I was making this and then threw it in. And there's been hundreds more that I wasn't able to record. I've had the game crash on me a total of 16 or 17 times, and I've had one complete file corrupt. I have played all 3 intros. The first, I didn't like Corpo. Second, I was playing a street kid. I got 15 hours into the game, and my save file corrupted. The entire file. So the most recent way I could play it, instead of going to the file after, was actually when Jackie put a gun to my character. So when that happened, that was only about 20 minutes in, so I just decided, screw it. And then I started Nomad, and that's the current playstyle you're seeing me play right now in the review. Nomad, I'd say, is best. But the bugs just seem bad. They seem bad. Now, let me preface with a few of my favorite games. I enjoyed a game called Binary Domain, Anarchy Reigns, the Army of Two games. My favorite Resident Evil just happens to be Operation Raccoon City. All of those games are certain 5 out of 10s, but if I could get them all tattooed up on me and have all the merch, I would. I enjoy them. I enjoy some bad games. Is this a bad game? Yes and no. I think with patches and fixes, it can be great, but as of right now, it's not. When you come in, like I did, not knowing pretty much anything, I would have said, yeah, it's a 5 out of 10. It's a 5 out of 10. I'm going to play it. I'm going to beat it. I'm going to enjoy it. And, by the way, I haven't beaten it yet. This is part 1. The game's super, super long. It is a very long game. But the 1 out of 10s I don't get. It's by no means an ugly game. It's certainly not an ugly game. It doesn't look bad. I understand it looked far superior, apparently, in trailers. I grew up playing Killzone 2 and like some of the Fallouts and stuff like that. Games that when you booted up the game and you saw these trailers looked fantastic. The games were fantastic. They looked nothing like their trailer. I've pretty much, any game I see, when I see a trailer, I'm exclusively thinking it's not going to look like that. The only game I can preface that ever looked like as good as it did in the trailer was Call of Duty World War II. That's it. That's the only one. That is the only one I can think of off the top of my head. But it still looks good. And it's still a very fun game. As you can see in this gameplay, this is the farthest I've gotten into the story part of it. But that's just because I've been doing all of the Delamain missions, all of the Padre missions. I've basically been doing nothing but side quests the whole time, and then because I forget. That's what I think makes a good game, is when you just kind of forget there's a story there. And this is a good open world. It is a very fun open world. I have enjoyed every second of the open world. As far as, like I said, I should probably keep going with the cons. I'm sorry, that's why we're in Autistic Reviews. But bug-wise, it's really bad. The guns can mess up. The melee combat, I've seen a lot of complaints that the melee combat is the worst thing on the world. I disagree. It is pretty much the only way I play the game is through melee. The section when you meet the doctor. Cool section. It's super cool to see your augment get implanted. And I found that section really cool. Now going back, getting gorilla arms or chase guns or anything like that, it doesn't even show it, which is very disappointing. If you're hoping to see that cool cinematic when you get the mantis blades, it's not going to happen. If you're hoping for something cool to happen with these animations in third person. So far, the only animation I can say that's in third person is when you look in a mirror, and the starting mission when you're looking in looking in a mirror. That is the only time I've seen my character fully in third person or in any aspect of my own character. Customization really doesn't matter because you don't look at your character that much. One of the worst bugs, especially if you're someone like me, I had the nudity sensor turned off. And no matter what, when I changed my character's outfit, it would still happen. And I had 7 hours of footage that is so unusable because I kept changing outfits and not noticing that when I tried to edit, I noticed, oh, there's a dick or there's a cooch. And it made it so bad that I almost felt powerless to finish the review even because I lost so much footage. There was going to be more footage edited through in and out, and just killer bugs. A lot of cutscenes. My first playthrough with Johnny, I got the gun through the head microchip type thing, and second playthrough I didn't, which was nice. But I can say the biggest complaint I have is we're supposed to feel something, spoiler alert, we're supposed to feel something when Jackie passes. I felt nothing. Not because I hated Jackie, but because almost all of the coolest missions in the game appear to have happened in the intro. In the introduction, after you meet Jackie, you guys become friends. There is a 2-minute video or cutscene of you guys partying it up, doing these missions, doing these heists, meeting Padre or reuniting with Padre, stuff like that, depending. And that kind of sucked. Because, wow, we're these best of friends. I wish you could have seen those 6 months with Jackie. I wish you could have seen the lunches and the supper you had with Mama Wells and Misty and stuff. Because you're supposed to feel something for these characters, but they make it so hard to care about any of the characters because you almost don't want to care about any of the characters because you barely know them. You're supposed to be best friends with Jackie, but in gameplay world, he just held a gun to your head and you nearly got killed. Or he screws you over on a heist, and like I said, this is the best one where the lizard tries attacking him and something. Corpo, I couldn't even finish. But you're supposed to feel some connection, and there's none. And I understand in Corpo, he is your best friend, but even so, there's no real connection to him. So when it finally does happen, you just don't care. Or you might care. Who knows? No one really knows. Because how could you know? The characters, though, are very well done. I will say that another key complaint I could probably make is some of the voices being off. As you saw in the earlier, Johnny's voice tends to be low or browed or stuff like that, and it's not very good. And that kind of is disappointing. Judy grains on me like salt on a... like, feels like salt and ice mixing together on a wound. It just... her voice doesn't match quite with her appearance, and just kind of all bugging me and stuff. I know you're supposed to become good friends with her and you're supposed to have a romance or something. My autistic butt, if my first encounter is going to be them screaming at me, I just can't like them after that. I can't like them. That's kind of why I can stand Takamura, because he doesn't scream at you. He kind of comes off a little bit as an asshole, but he's also, like, you can see he's like an ally. It's kind of why I cared about Misty and Mama Wells. It's taken so many side missions for Johnny to warm up to me. I finished Judy's whole shebang, and I just couldn't shake the feeling, because she is pissed off at you and hates you for so long, and then you become best friends because you help her find Evelyn and stuff, and it's just like, why am I supposed to care about this? The writing is great, don't get me wrong, but some of the delivery is bad. So going over it, bugs. There's lots of them. You saw them at the beginning. Characters. Some of them just don't sound great. Lack of plot. I hate the fact that I'm supposed to love these characters, but I only know some of these characters for in-game 5 minutes. Crashes. The crashes have been annoying. Crashes and corrupts. That's not great. And what else can I say? The lack of content that appears. Like I said, the Doc or Vix, when he does your augment and stuff in the beginning of the game, that's really disappointing. Those are my complaints, though. I can't complain about third person. I can't complain about wall running. I can't complain about mantis blades, shoving them into a wall and climbing with them. I can't complain about no helicopters. I generally can't complain about any of that stuff, because I had no idea any of that stuff even existed in the game. It wasn't until watching the videos after the game came out, while I was making this review, while I was writing this review, and everything else, I didn't know about that stuff. Which leads me into point 3. I straight up didn't know. I jump into a lot of games without knowing a lot about them. I kind of am old-fashioned. I like the way of word of mouth. If someone enjoys a game and they tell me they enjoy it, I'm going to play it. I don't really look at reviews. I don't care about reviews. Some of my favorite games, one of my favorite games is Mystery Dungeon, not a highly prevailed game. Some of my other favorite games, Anarchy Reigns, Binary Domain, Mad World, Operation Raccoon City, Resident Evil 6. I love bad games, but if one person tells me just give it a chance, I'm probably going to give it a chance. And with me and all that stuff, if I'm enjoying the game, I'm enjoying the game. I'm very easy to please. If you just let me bang bang slice slice with a samurai sword, I'm going to have fun. It doesn't matter. That's why I can go back to the Xbox, the original Xbox, and play some of those old games. Because if I find them fun, they are gonna still be fun. It's never about nostalgia. So when this game came out and I heard all the hate, the anger, the pissing and moaning, I couldn't find any of that. Now, everyone is valid in their feelings because these were promised. Me personally, I can't speak on that because I didn't care about the game. I frankly didn't care. Didn't bother me. I didn't think much about it. And yeah, I'll say as another complaint, if you have sensory issues to certain colors, do use the please do use the colorblind filter. I do not like the color red. I do not like it harshly. I do not like red so tendently or whatever a good word might be for that. I don't like when it's so harsh and dark and so pungent. It like makes me freak out, so I had to turn it to it. I'm not colorblind, but it's a lot easier on my eyes to play this way, in case anyone was wondering. But yes, promises, I don't care. Gameplay, it's good. It's all that. So, yeah. Sorry, let's get into the pros. The pros. The character customization is really nice. I know people were expecting 87 different types of that thing. I don't care. I thought the customization was nice. I could customize for hours. Do I wish there was third person so I could see my character? Yeah. Yeah. Do I wish there was more cutscenes maybe where I could see my character? Yeah. But the customization is super nice. It's not WWE 2K level of customization where you can put your own tattoos on your own characters. It's not level of customization from some like Bethesda games and stuff like that, but it does the job. The story, the story's good. The story's nice. I honestly, if you saw earlier, I was skipping through. There are a lot of moments, if you're on a second playthrough, where there's just putting it the nicest way I can. Some of the characters don't shut the hell up. They just don't shut the hell up. What you saw in that playthrough and in that video with Evelyn, my first playthrough took me 45 minutes to get through all of it, just by skipping through and not caring what they said. There is a lot of talking, and I'll say that's why I like doing the side missions, because side missions let you go poo poo pang pang. The story missions, not so much. If you notice, a lot of the story missions you're thinking you're playing are actually side missions conglomerate to the main story, which is nice. But still, most story missions are not shooty bang bang. A lot of them are non-shooty bang bang. Forgive me, I forgot to edit this out. This has been a few days. Sorry about that Xbox controller thingy. But it's good. It's enjoyable. It's fun. It's really fun. I know I complained about poorly written characters, but there's a lot of well-written ones. Takamura, Johnny even sometimes stouts one-liners. You can adopt a cat. You can literally adopt a cat in the game. Some people could show that a hell of a lot better than I can. If someone wanted me to make that a video, I could. But I guarantee someone has made a video far better than I will ever do about how to get the cat. It's a little naked cat, and you can adopt it, and it's adorable. And you can pet a cat. If you see a cat, you can pet them. That's adorable. 10 out of 10 on cat petting simulation. I love animals. Gunplay, swordplay is great. It is honestly fantastic. It's some of the best swordplay and gunplay I've ever had. In any game, it's probably the best I've ever done. God, what else? There is a lot, but the side missions, the world. I'll say this, and the reason I held off on this review was because when I picked up the game, driving around in vehicles sucked. It was horrible. I hated it. You could not drive a vehicle. Driving a vehicle was one of the worst things the game could do. Now, making this review, it's one of the game's strengths and strong suits. It's one of the best parts of the game is driving around now, so I kind of wanted to hold off on that because it does kind of help the end score of it, to me at least. I picked this game up for $49.99 USD because that's how much some stores sell it for. The $69.99 and the $59.99 don't exist where I am. It's $49, but it's still very, very fun. It's still very, very good. Would I say if you enjoyed The Witcher and you want that level, it's probably not that. A lot of people expected this game to be like Grand Theft Auto 5. It's not by a long shot. I, when looking into this, thought CD Projekt Red is a big studio, but also still kind of an indie studio. I didn't expect them to do Grand Theft Auto size openness and expansiveness and immersiveness. I didn't expect that. Now, earlier in the game, you could see when you shot a tire, the tire wouldn't pop. That has been changed. That has been added in. I've noticed if you pop a tire, you pop a tire. So that does now exist, I believe. Please correct me if wrong. But from what I've noticed, now tires do pop. Pro, I will say crafting. Crafting is very fun in the game. Crafting is one of my favorite parts, because it makes me want to do more of the side quests, more of the side missions, more of the side gigs, more of the random police ventures and stuff like that. Because then I get a bunch of items, and the only items I'm saving are like purple and stuff at this point. So I get all this crafting material and all the money. And that's what I appreciate about the game too, is you never run out of reasons to have it. So the main source of income in the game is called eddies. You will run out of them a lot. I like games that do that. When you get really far in games like Fallout 4, 3, New Vegas, even 1 and 2, or Grand Theft Auto 4, Grand Theft Auto 5, any of those games, it's so easy to, when you play the game too much, to build up coins and never have a reason to use them, or have millions of potions and never have a reason to use them. This game actually gives you a reason, like I need to save this, potion, or I need to save this healing solution, this health pack. There's never that issue, because you're going to need to use that health pack. Whether you like it or not, you're going to have to use it. And that makes it fun, but the game gives you so many so that it's still not an issue. The money is crazy. So many items can cost 100 to 200,000 eddies. Could take you days of playing the game just to get there. But that's fine, because it gives you a reason to play the game. It makes when you get these eddies actually fun to, what am I gonna use this for? What could I use this for? What may I use this for? And that was one of my favorite parts of the game. I'd say so going over the pros, the economy is great. The world is great. It's one of the most beautiful, most expansive worlds I've ever played. I've enjoyed every second of walking around in it. The gunplay is very good. The driving is now very good. The story is very good. There's a lot more good than bad. Now, to the part of the review on why this took so long. I am not great at editing. As you can see, it's not my strongest suit, but I'm trying. I hope this video does well. I'm hoping this is one of the better performing videos. So if you can, please share, like, subscribe, and stuff like that. This is part 1. I will be doing a part 2 when I actually finish the game. But generally, it took a long time because I wanted this to be like my biggest project for the channel. And I got bored of the game because with my autism, it could be I'm interested in this and then the next day I'm interested in this. I do want to complete this for the channel, so if it performs well, I'll do a part 2. But that's it's just how my brain works, kind of. And whatnot. But this was a fun project to undertake. This was a long one. I've been recording videos for about a month now, compiling them. I've been using different softwares. I know there's a watermark, as you can see on the side. That watermark was what I used to edit a lot of these videos down for size and stuff like that. And I wanted to keep this under 40 minutes. Generally, this was a fun undertaking. And then I had to put this through a different software. I used 3 different softwares and apps and stuff to make this. Plus, I'm going to be using 3 or 5 to make the thumbnail. Plus, like, this has been a huge undertaking, and I hope people enjoy it because I've enjoyed it. And it's one of those things I would like to do again in the future. I would really like to do this again in the future, where I compile and spend a lot of time. And the reason I call it the Autistic Reviews is because this is coming from someone who isn't the most finicky person on the planet, who is easily pleased, who doesn't watch all these reviews and doesn't care about stuff like that. Everyone's criticism is meaningful, and you should take that criticism, but there should also be the one in the back, the autistic or ADHD people who speak up too on what they like. And I very much enjoyed this. This was very fun. This is nice. It's good. I enjoy making videos and stuff like that, and yeah. But I suppose we should send it off. Send it off with the final grade. When I first played this game, December, I would have given this game a 3. It was bad. I couldn't play it. Right now, January 20th, when this goes live, I would say this is a solid 7 out of 10. There are more bugs that can be fixed. There are more issues that can be addressed. But as far as I'm concerned, I enjoy this game. This is a fun game. It's not perfect, but Operation Raccoon City is like a 1 out of 10. It's one of my favorite games. You can enjoy bad games. And I want to be honest when I say this is a mediocre game that's really fun, but I love it because I love that type of gameplay. When it's all fixed, this game easily can be a 10 out of 10. Thank you.